Remember, you were one of the judges on my case, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that case, Glory?
I'm not entirely sure
Willie Glory is supposed to be here.
Willie?
No one else has come through yet, though.
Okay. We got 12 games? So everybody's accounted for? We're missing Willie.
Well, we're missing Willie.
We see that you said he's a judge for this court case.
Supposed to be sitting on the panel, sir. But the matter can proceed with the two of us.
10-4.
Should he be indisposed?
Their understanding of the law is stupid, and they don't understand the repercussions of what they're fucking arguing. Thank you.
With opening statements concluded, we will go ahead and open the floor for witness testimony.
The prosecution will call Sheriff Jeffrey Bones to the stand. Sheriff Bones, were you on duty on the afternoon and evening of June 5th, 2024?
I was.
That is a fuck ton of gunfire.
I've heard worse than my career.
We will proceed until there is a deemed and established threat to our safety in this building.
Have you read the PCP 2.0?
I skimmed over it.
You only skimmed over legislation passed down from the mayor for the police protocols.
Oh my God, Bones.
You're telling me the base
I believe
of
that,
everything
though.
in which you work behind, you've skimmed over.
Objection, counsel is testifying.
Did you get the thought of insanity based on what I had wrote in as a person? Oh,
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't put that evidence in.
Who put that evidence in?
I don't know.
Does it not say in your report who put the evidence in?
I mean, I would assume it would be Declan because he's in the photo and the selfie. But I'm not 100% sure if he's the one who uploaded that.
Would you think a police officer sitting in a courtroom, not on a chair, randomly is a little abnormal?
No.
Objection, relevance.
The man that's doing it is right over there that apparently is the one that also called me insane. So I'm just trying to clarify where he draws the line.
I'm likely to sustain the objection here, Mr. Soze.
Okay.
The characterization of witness Declan Crane and how he chooses to sit in this room juxtaposed against the title of the evidence in question, which we will not consider during deliberation. We'll consider.
Yeah, listen. So with the recall process and us building off scoped questions, we can't expand on any scope even in this line of questioning.
You'll have the ability to lay foundation on a direct line, which you may find would service you better.
Well, if
this line
that's
of questioning,
the case,
sir.
we might as well just wait until that point then.
Oh.
Do you have no further questions for the witness then, Mr. Soze?
No, that would be fine.
I get a break.
Mr. Whitlock, floor is open for reader.
I have no redirect at this time, Your Honor.
Nice.
Okay. Sheriff Bones, you can step down.
Thank you. Okay. Only like 20 minutes. Okay.
Did you take the selfie titled Selfie with Insane Ramblings in the People's A?
Yeah, that's me.
Did you hear Kael Soze state this rhetoric at himself at any point?
I'm gonna be honest, if he did, I don't really feel comfortable saying yes, no, or specifically. He was like, him and Bones were talking, right? And he was kind of saying stuff to Bones was saying stuff to him. But I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, on some of these scenes when we show up as backup, we're kind of just like pointing our Glocks at people. And all I'm thinking about is like, don't pull the trigger on accident, you know? So I think I tuned some of that out.
Brother. Stay strong.
Thanks, Carmine.
You in the trenches, but you'll crawl out, okay?
I know.
Think about, ask yourself, what was ready
the
though?
entire state?
He'd probably cry.
Reddy was a beast in court. He's like a law expert.
I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's like a god at court.
We respond to calls in like
Hey,
Toledo
I'm in your
and
corner,
Sandy and
dude.
Grapeseed all
Don't
over.
tell Soze I said that, 'cause when
Yesterday
you
I
lose,
did a
I'm
call in the
jumping ship.
Alamo Sea.
I'm not losing.
In your opinion, did you personally witness Kael Soze taking acts that deny Sheriff Bones' authority or that of the state?
No, he never had an axe. He had a M4.
I will leave it there. No more questions, Your Honor.
All right. What do I do now?
It's the part where I offer any cross-examination from Mr. Soze.
Can I just mark him for recall? Honestly, I wasn't listening.
Okay.
Same,
if you have
dude.
nothing on cross-examination, Senior Officer Crane, you can step down. You
Alright,
are marked for
sick.
recall. You need to remain.
Oh, no.
We have Bobby Charles marked as a witness. However, I see he is not here.
He's on his way, Your Honor.
Carmine, where's Bobby?
All right.
He was attacked.
How's it going, Soze?
Okay.
Any ever confirmation what happened to that third judge that we never heard about again?
I've got no idea.
I mean, this was a mistrial to begin with, so I feel like
shouldn't she be here? A few reasons, I believe this should already be a mistrial, but it don't matter. I believe this judge is pretty keen to see it through no matter what. Out of curiosity, you guys know what happened to Siobhan or whatever? She's in ICU or something, they said.
I have no idea where the fuck she is.
No,
I was
I just
curious
came
about
from the
that
hospital.
myself.
Yeah, we just got off duty.
Yeah, I didn't see her. Don't want to say anything to me.
I don't know. It seems a little strange. She went from expert witness to prosecutor to nothing.
Doctor,
Yeah.
cop.
Everything, yeah.
What else hasn't she done?
Is she?
I
Yeah, my
agree.
ex-wife is out of her mind. That's
Sorry,
100%.
She said right there on the docket she was trying to give you a psych eval right there on the spot.
Give me entrance music, Winslow. You have a bunch of shit.
I don't have music.
No, I need entrance music.
I'll give
Winslow.
you my song of death.
Good luck in there, Bobby.
There you go, Richard.
Give me some fucking entrance
I gotta go.
music, Winslow.
Colt's gonna be coming back in. I'll talk to you soon.
It's my entrance music. Right,
You're not a fucking wrestler, Bobby. You're an idiot.
And the hero of Los Santos is here. Yeah. Bobby, yeah.
Prosecution called Bobby Charles to the same.
Yeah. It's the former warden. Yeah, hero of Los Santos. Yeah.
Why were you late?
I was having sex, Your Honor.
Court will need to investigate these.
We'll
Mr.
verify that later.
Mr. Whitlock, please continue.
Bobby Charles, did your bitch ass speak with Kael Soze on the day of June 5th?
Why am I being referred to as a quote-unquote bitch ass?
It's not your turn to ask questions, sir. Answer the question.
My legal name isn't bitch ass. Why am I being referred to as a bitch ass, Your Honor? It's just a simple question.
Just answer the question, Mr. Charles. Let's keep this moving along.
Shouldn't I be able to know why I'm being referred to as a bitch ass?
Non-responsive, Your Honor.
You can speak to Mr. Whitlock about it afterwards, sir.
In the People's C, you then call Kael Soze at 10:10 p.m. EST. What did you speak to him about?
Don't recall.
I have no further questions.
Okay. Mr. Soze, any questions for this witness on cross-examination?
No. The mayor's an agent of the state.
Yes, he's told me that before.
The mayor has told you he is an agent of the state of San Andreas.
Yes.
You 100% he said that to you. No doubt. No question. You have other people said this to you.
I mean, I know I've heard it from him that he's an agent of the state.
Okay. You don't even know if you have any authority in that area of the state.
He doesn't even
Can
know.
you?
Well, you asked where it was
Shut
written.
up, Carmine.
Contempt, $2,500 fine. Please continue, Mr. Soze. I apologize for the interrupt. For the record, if Mr. Costello continues to be a good boy, you don't need to send him to prison. Just the fine will suffice.
He's probably gonna want a bench trial. Vinny Pistone said he's scared of Carmine and he feels intimidated, so he's trying to press stalking charges.
Strange.
He's a
I feel oddly conflicted.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
not,
another judge
not
can.
taking that either. So.
You were going to kill them? Who are you talking about?
In my understanding of how stand your ground works, it also applies to people around you that are being hurt. So I had some aspirations of hurting the people that I believe wrongfully shot you. Supreme Leader, God, Emperor, Maximilian Thoroughbred.
Does he tell you to call him that?
No, I say it on my own. Well, I say it on my own.
Does he say he is the mayor or is the state to you as well?
Objection hearsay.
Sustained. Once again, Mr. Thoroughbred is not here and was not called as a witness, which both parties had the opportunity to do.
We have evidence, messages with Bobby Charles, where Mr. Soze had attempted to incite Mr. Charles to rebellion. We have heard testimony that Kael Soze used high-grade weaponry to defend his rebellion against the authorities of the state. We have evidence that he did so in the People's A. We have his testimony to Sheriff Bones under Miranda in the People's A, confirming that he wrote the manifesto, denying state authority. We have probable cause for detainment, where the further escalating actions taken by the defendant began occurring prior to contact from Jeffrey Bones.
This doofus just said me questioning a state law is that of treason. My friend. If that is the case, we are all treasonous. You are a moron. And in saying that, if you want to go onto the opposite parallel of what you're saying and the danger in which you're about to authorize would imply that any citation, whether it be a speeding ticket or anything else, if you have pled guilty, would have gone against the authority of the state and of the laws. Sir, you are fucking stupid. Excuse my French, I'm sorry. Listen, if a state entity is of the state, and there is no state entities inside this government or inside the penal code as an authority, then it's impossible to go against the state or of their law. It is not possible unless you go against the Constitution. And as I was suggesting, the only people that have gone against the Constitution was the person you were working with to prosecute me, sir, in which you have done nothing about, okay? There was gross negligence confirmed by Mr. Bobby Charles himself, the warden, which indicated there was no EMS inside the goddamn jail, where a police officer died in the process, and these assholes are the ones prosecuting me. The only form of state law is the Constitution, sir. There is a big difference between of and from. Otherwise, with your implications, a citation is federal law and of the federal authority. You are stupid, and how you got this job is beyond me. The fact I am here on a treason charge, being charged by people that aren't here, that should be on a treason charge, is a joke in itself, okay? This man is claiming he had PC, while his doofus lawyer is saying the same, and neither of them can understand what jurisdiction is, or to even understand if he had jurisdiction. He doesn't know. How could it be probable that he knows he has PC if he doesn't know he has jurisdiction?
Sure, but what I'm getting at is, you know, his overall point was essentially these guys don't even have the legal authority to arrest him in the first place. So,
correct.
I guess the question is here, you know, I don't want to say it, but like, I feel like we probably should factually verify the actual jurisdiction and legal precedence for all of the arguments that he made, because if they are in fact not there and they are not implied, then he's not wrong. So we need to actually verify and make sure all that stuff is actually there.
You're not wrong.
I'm sure it is. I'm just saying that we need to actually check, you know, like we can't just assume it's here.
You're not wrong. There needs to be somewhat of an understanding of jurisdiction as intended, because there's some consideration that needs to be given, especially since this is all legislation that was written at some point by imperfect people who have potentially made some sort of oversight here.
Show the sweet chat.
He didn't really do too much to explain it to us. I don't actually know what these colors even. I assume he's trying to articulate some kind of a jurisdiction, but I really don't know.
You know what? This map looks very familiar to me.
Does it?
Back in the day when we were going through a restructure, we were talking about how exactly we were going to split up BCSO, the troopers, and LSPD, and who would have authority over where. This map looks almost identical to it, specifically with the blue or the purple areas being the state, or like the state police, and what they would have jurisdiction over. So they'd have control over the waters. They would have control over the highways and specific sections.
Chiliad.
Yeah, this looks very familiar.
It don't matter. You're never going to be sheriff again, because those people up there got to listen to me. I can walk down the streets of these goddamn streets wherever I want. Ain't nobody fucking touching me. Nobody. Police ain't touching me. The people ain't touching me. You know who they got to fuck with? If you see a cop walking down there, they got to pull him inside of that car and start fucking rubbing them, taking their shit and beating the fuck out of them. Because ain't nobody going to respect you. Because you don't have anything to respect. You don't have a soul no more, sir. You don't have anything you believe in. You need to start thinking about yourself and your morals and stop thinking about the people around you. That's what makes a man, okay? That's what makes a man understand the law and have a moral and have an understanding of what he wants to be as a human. You don't have none of that. You need to find that self in your son, and maybe one day you can be a man. Till then, though, I want you to know that you're a coward, no matter the outcome.
Glad you walked away from that in your Halloween costume. He didn't even let me get a word back. He just walked away.
But, I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a bitch-made move, though, right?
Yeah, but you used to wear that. I mean,
yeah, I used to, but he's not a fucking cop.
self-posture.
I'm not wearing the fucking uniform that I'm not a part of anymore.
So, man,
That's like, hang it up, man. It's your time has passed.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, you can still play. You can still play. You know, Terrell Owens.
He's not a cop. He's not a cop.
Yeah,
he's just like
he's just Oh, have you seen that son of a bitch with a shirt
living
off?
in the
Holy
past. He's like the guy who peaked in high school, and he just keeps going back. And back in my day,
I mean, hell,
that's
he's
all he
peaking
is.
right now.
Peaking.
This son of a bitch
He's
played
going to
with broken
fucking
leg in the
jail. What do you
Super
mean
Bowl.
he's peaking? He used to be the commissioner.
Oh no, I'm talking about Terrell Owens.
I'm talking about Soze.
Oh,
I don't even know who the fuck Terrell Owens is.
I mean, I will just say, you know, I think it's more likely that he just had this gun laying around from his experience as a police officer, because back in the day, it was incredibly common for police officers to keep their Class 2 weaponry in their personal possession. I myself happened to have a Class 3 weapon that I kept for personal use, that I was licensed by the state to have, that I kept in my own personal property, which if my cars hadn't been repossessed, I'd still have it. So it's actually relatively common.
So you got to keep an AWM too, or an M14?
The AWM is what it was, and yes, I did. It was issued to me by the state.
At least yours was state issued.
Right.
No, you're correct. Right. You know, the council will need to review and update legislation. Should be a fairly simple amendment. I imagine it'll pass unanimously if they ever decide to meet or do anything again. By letter of the law, he is not guilty of that charge. That kind of leaves the treason and some of Soze's other fundamental arguments.
So do you want my opinion on it?
I think your opinion is extremely valuable. So yes, I absolutely want to hear what you have to say.
A declaration like this, which he has had in the past, that it might be reasonable for him to, in his mind, I'm saying specifically, to take actions like this. And so while from the perspective of the population, the civilian population, and law enforcement as a whole, what he did very easily could be treason. I think that there's also a qualifying, a really big qualifying factor in that, which is his mental space and the actual intentions behind what he was doing, which leads me to not want to find him guilty on that. That is my opinion. I know that you might not agree with that, and that's okay, but that's kind of where I am at.
Let me ask you a question on that.
Yes.
Because I do not disagree with you at all, actually. The problem I have with it, and maybe an alternative I could suggest, you are agreeing that by letter and by the actions taken themselves, without considering his state of mind, who he is specifically, or anything to that effect, you are agreeing that the actions constitute treason. Would a state officer, or whatever you seem to be fit here, take the specific actions that he did?
Yes, actually.
Or would he handle them in a legal manner?
I'm going to be honest with you. The state very... Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but back in the day, when the Senate was going wild, the state troopers grabbed sniper rifles and we were going to go blow up the senator's fucking head and then replace him with judges that were going to occupy that seat appropriately, because we swore an oath to protect the state and we deemed that the actions that they're taking to be a threat to the state. So
Thought
yes,
that the Senate
actually,
had become the enemy of the state at that time.
yeah, so yes, actually, I could very well see what he's doing as reasonable actions of someone who believes that he's still a state trooper and protecting the state from a hostile government to be reasonable, yes.
For the
From
actions
his
of the-
perspective, from knowing the kind of person he is and the actions that he had to take in the past, I actually think that this is a pretty inconsistent inline thing with what he would do if he genuinely believed this to be the case.
But are we allowed to draw on that?
I don't know. Gonna be honest with you, I'm still I've only been doing this for 7 months. I'm still a judge in training. That's why you're the lead on this, not me.
That's typically why assessment of character or reasoning or those types of things are considered for sentencing, right? That's why some murderers get 25 and some get life. That's why some people don't see prison at all for a simple drug charge, or some people see 10 to 15 years. I think it is the responsibility of this institution, especially in a matter like this, where our laws are being questioned and the enforcement of those laws is being questioned, to ensure that a reasonable and rational standard is being held and that those laws are being applied fairly, equally. The way that we do that is whether we find somebody guilty or not guilty. We can't absolve the actions, but we can be less punitive.
Okay, I think that makes sense. I'm also gonna to touch on the earlier bigger topic, is even bigger than this treason stuff, which is the arguments that he's making. I think that the legislators of the states and whoever wrote the Constitution, and assisted our dear Crane in that, very severely, and I mean incredibly severely, left very big oversights in the definition of who the state is, what their actual authority is, and what their boundaries are. And I think that it needs to be rectified ASAP, because I actually think that they are not clear at all. I think that Los Santos as a definition is not specific. It doesn't specify an area on a geographical location. It only refers to people's common knowledge. And while that works very well for the most part, our common knowledge of Los Santos being this island, it's still not specific and written. And I think that we probably need to get that written down somewhere.
Oh, okay. Can I speak freely? I think our Constitution's fucking terrible.
It's got some holes in it.
Just a few.
It's got some holes here and there. But my understanding is that when Crane wrote it, it was not a placeholder, but it was supposed to be the start, right?
It's foundational.
Yeah, it was foundational. Right? But my concern is that it's not foundational enough, because
anything with a foundation is something we need to build on.
Sure, but I think it missed the mark on defining where even the state is. I mean, listen, I am very hesitant to say this. I think that Soze has a mild point that is valid for consideration, that the state is not actually defined in terms of its geographical location or its boundaries, and Los Santos is a vague term that we only have a collective understanding of it because of our time and experience in the city, but there's no map drawn. I can guarantee you the United States government has a map drawn of their boundaries, their borders, where they operate, where their jurisdiction is. We don't have any of that. We need that.
If we outright, during this verdict, admit that it's not defined properly, right? Because it opens the door for every...
It would quite literally destroy the state, as we know what I think.
It would destroy the state, and it would mean that every single person that was ever arrested north of Vinewood would need to be let go and absolved of all their criminal charges.
Think of the paperwork, Norman.
It'd be a fucking nightmare. And no, I refuse to do that. I refuse. I will put my foot down there and say no. Look, I think we have operated as a state for the last 7 months with a established understanding of how our law enforcement system works. That one man questioning that should not be enough to paint a wide brush. Are there shortfalls in the legislation? Yes. Can they be fixed? Yes. I do not think that we require one without the other, as it were. We can fix the laws and we can more clearly define them without absolutely destroying the fabric of our society at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
So, love your point. I'm not going to bankrupt the state refunding everyone that did a crime north of the Alamo.
Chad, we sound like unhinged lunatics. From my reading of these statements, from even some of the questions that he posed, and the way that Declan even specified it, the ramblings of a madman. Just because some lunatic is on the side of the road ranting about Hollywood elites sucking adrenochrome out of kids and how they need to fucking go overthrow the government to save it, we don't throw those people into prison on treason charges, even if they go do a violent act, right? We throw them in prison for the violent acts that they committed.
Against the entity that they're rebelling against.
Listen, I'm not trying to convince you. I think that it's definitely fair to charge him with treason. My thinking is there has to be a better place to send this guy than prison. And if there's not, surely we could use this as a way to create one.
If you need me to be around, I can be around at that time. So you tell me, man.
Well, I want to have my undersheriff talk to you about the stuff that you said yesterday. I'll send Cassidy to talk to you, if that's fine with you. Kind of get your statement on all that.
Yeah, it's just insurance policy. Places to look and inquiries to make in the event that something unfortunate.
More so just on the ties with Sonya, more than anything. That was.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the lion's share of it, because you know I have something that's called a duty to report, right, Bones?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when I bring that up, what I'm saying is the stuff I have to say is probably not actionable unless something should happen to me, because then if it ties together and it tracks, then you got something. Because the stuff I have,
not
it
everything that we
falls beneath the duty to report, I would say. Hearsay, loose talk, not really an exigent threat kind of thing.
I think that the Constitution needs to be heavily updated and rewritten to include this shit, because frankly, it doesn't say a lot of the things that people think it says. So, Los Santos is a state. It's not the state, chat. The state is San Andreas. Los Santos is the city. So, it needs another pass. I don't know what to tell you. And then basically no common definition is Los Santos ever meant the islands. This is San Andreas, what we're looking at here. This is Los Santos. This is Sandy Shores. This is Grapeseed. This is Polito. They are 4 separate cities written into the map. It has always been this way. It's a county. Yes, Los Angeles County comes up to about here. I know this because I would look this up when I was trying to come up with the jurisdictions back in the day during the restructure.
Now, I think you'll find this one interesting. We want to turn our attention to the current charge.
I'm sure I will.
I'm sure you will.
Well understood, considering your stance with the terrorism charges and your phone calls with Mr. Siobhan just before they were put away, and your bias to Mr. K himself shown in private messages, sir. You are an asshole and not understanding of the law. You're a piece of
what?
shit, and you have no due process. It's on Twitter, motherfucker. Go look at it. You dog
Oh, I
shit
looked at
asshole.
it. I looked at it.
Fuck you.
Don't worry. It was
give a shit what you
very,
say.
very benign. And, you know, if
Yeah,
you're
the
inferring that you
spirit
had
of the
some involvement in
law.
that,
When
that's fine.
Aziz fucking dies and you all watch what happen, the spirit is fucking dead. Yeah.
Well, the spirit's not dead, Mr. Soze, because if you'll
It
allow
is
me to
dead.
continue, if you'll allow me to continue,
You've already said it, asshole.
I've not said it.
The law matters in the penal code, but not the constitution or the legislation. You, sir, are a fucking lying asshole. You're a hypocrite.
Well, that's your opinion, sir. Now I'm going to go ahead and return to my verdict at this time.
Factual, asshole.
That is your opinion, sir. Turning your attention to the criminal possession of firearm class 2 charge. Sir, you've raised a valid point, and you are correct. And that the standing legislation titled Weapons License Guidelines, published on March 4th, 2024, does not specifically note what constitutes a legal firearm.
Yeah,
Now, on that very specific note, Mr. Soze, Judge Angel and I are unable to make the determination as to whether that specific firearm is in fact illegal. We don't know how it was issued. We don't know how it was registered. By definition, it's illegal to have a, quote, illegal Class 2 firearm. But there is no definition standing as to what a legal or illegal Class 2 firearm is. So, you will be found not guilty of that charge, with a firm recommendation from the department that this legislation is reviewed. But it should be clearly stipulated that the weapon was in fact used in a violent crime and is not to be returned. And as you've been convicted of a violent felony, your weapons license is to be removed. Now lastly, we are going to go on and move on to treason. There are a lot of compelling arguments pertaining to jurisdiction, the state, Los Santos, Blaine County, and others. With regards to jurisdiction, Judge Angel and I have taken note of the following. Mr. Soze, you are once again correct in pointing out the 2 legislative authorities in the state, the City Council and the Department of Justice.
From the state.
We do take note that the City Council then passed a piece of legislation entitled the PCP 2.0. Quote, this document establishes the fact that the law enforcement departments of Los Santos will now answer to the mayor's office, with solely the mayor acting in this capacity on behalf of the state. Quote, moving forward, the mayor's office will act as an immediate superior to the law enforcement departments of Los Santos on all matters in order to ensure that the power the law enforcement departments of Los Santos wields is not misused in any flagrantly uncorrectable way. This document assures and reiterates as well state supremacy on matters of the law enforcement departments of Los Santos, with the state acting as the ultimate arbiter of decision-making. This legislation in question also allows for the following, quote, the formation of other law enforcement departments as the need arises in other regions of Los Santos beyond the city. Coverage is important. In that writing, it is implicitly established that prior to this document's publication on May 10th, 2024, the one department that did exist, the LSPD, maintained jurisdiction over those regions. Further recognizes that, albeit while not clearly defining Those
The letter
regions
of the law
do, in
isn't
fact,
clearly
exist.
defined? Okay, sure. Sometimes they are, right? I get it. Keep going, pal.
Oh, don't worry, I will. I will. I have
You
not
are in a
finished yet, so I got
delusion.
plenty more. I'm in a delusion.
Yes. I mean, there's a reason there's a lot of people standing behind me and not these pieces of shit over here because they all see you as a fuckwit and a traitor.
Your Honor, we can gag him if you like.
Adams is known to be corrupt.
We know. We know.
Just like everybody else, and we don't want to.
I don't have the right to free
take
speech.
that away from him.
You've taken it from me multiple times. I wrote on a wall that I was an overseer, and apparently that is against the state.
Bobby, I
Found
swear
you
to
guilty
God,
of
stop
treason yet,
dick
Mr.
riding.
Soze?
Nope, but I did get tried last week by the same idiots that talked to Siobhan on the phone. I hope she dies, by the way. I hope she don't make it out of ICU.
Why don't you try
It'll
to
be
get
better
a
for the
reaction out of
state.
me, Judge? Come on, get a reaction out of me.
I don't need a reaction from you, Mr. K. That said, therein, Judge Angel and I find that the state's intention is clear. For law enforcement to maintain jurisdiction over the entirety of the island. Therein, Judge Angel and I find that the state's intention is clear. For law enforcement to maintain jurisdiction over the entirety of the island, whether that be in the city itself or outside. And as a result, this will now bring us back to the core tenets of Mr. Soze's argument. Incited rebellion against the authority established in Blaine County, as outlined through the PCP. Clearly labeled his intentions through writings on the wall of the sheriff's office, and then engaged in violent behavior when he raised a weapon to officers on the inside of the building. While this may be a failed attempt at insurrection or rebellion, it by very definition rises to the legal definition of treason. Now that said, we understand where this comes from, and the background that you, Mr. Soze, bring to this matter. I see the uniform you're wearing.
You are
I understand where you've come from.
stupid. The letter of the law, I cannot believe you guys. The spirit of the law when you want it to be, but when it's the letter of the law, it ain't. You are unbelievably fucking pathetic as a human being.
Have
You
I
are a
finished, sir?
cow. I don't give a fuck if you finish or not. The way you try to sway that legislation, which is under the Constitution is of the state. Anything under it is from the authority of the state. It isn't the state. It's from the authority of the state. You fucking Neanderthal. So when you mention any sort of state fucking thing or entity inside that, it is irrelevant. The mayor is not the state. A mayor of the state? Are you fucking stupid? You are the dumbest motherfucker. No, fuck this guy and fuck you. I hope you put me in jail. I want to go to jail because these people are going to hate you more.
You hope you go to
Letter
jail.
of the fucking law. You're a fucking asshole. I don't give a fuck if I don't go to jail. You're still an asshole. You're missing the point.
The
point
I'm missing
is,
the. Amen.
You are an asshole.
I'm an asshole, and I'm.
You're an asshole!
Fucking asshole!
Now,
Fuck that guy!
Fucking asshole.
Understand where this comes from and the
Local
background
law and
that
state
Mr.
law,
Soze brings
guys.
this matter. Now, we're not looking at sanguinian levels of insurrection and rebellion by any means. We are looking actually at the ideals of a man who has fallen from powers bestowed upon him in a failed government from past years. Courts, while we will be finding you guilty, Kael, will not be entertaining anything near to the full 7 years requested by the prosecutor. Instead, we'll be referring you as it'll be a sentence of a total of 4 years in prison with credit for 3 served, 4 years parole beyond. While you are on parole, the court will be ordering that you seek psychiatric evaluation in order to fitness to return as a working member of our society. The totality of the fine will be $125,000, $100,000 for the crimes you committed, plus $25,000 in contempt for your actions inflicted.
This man just authorized anybody to get a citation in Los Santos or elsewhere to be going against the laws of the state, my friends. You guys are fucking stupid.
This hearing is adjourned, sir.
Fuck you, asshole!
So, where's the jurisdiction end?
Totality of the island.
Should all just go stand around him?
Yeah, so the totality of the island. So when you guys go arrest people in boats, now what do you mean doing, motherfucker? What's your excuse there, bitch?
Pirate.
That's what I thought.
Why do I have
You're
my
gonna
gun in
fucking
here?
run circles around it, because that water ain't no island, sir. There's a lake up there where people are fishing and getting charged for shit too. You are a fucking rat, and I know you gotta fucking worm your way out of that one too with the spirit of the law bullshit. Word of the law, my fucking ass. You're a fucking liar.
You're interchanging word and spirit an awful lot here, Mr.
You're a
Soze.
fucking liar and a
You're
coward.
interchanging the words a lot here.
What is an island, sir? Is it a body of water? No! An island is surrounded by water, moron! Unbelievable.
No, don't be ridiculous.
You're insanely, you're ashamed to not only the state of San Andreas, which apparently is now Los Santos County, you're just ashamed to the United States of America. Allowing violations of due process, prosecutors over here that are failing in the Constitution aren't even police officers to write these guys PCs and charges and allow that in evidence of a court of law, and they're not here to be answered to. You are ridiculous. Okay? No
Aren't they here
fucking.
to be answered to, Mr. Soze, why aren't they here to be answered to?
I have no idea. They're an
asked
ICU and they're no longer a police officer, apparently. And apparently you also know this, if that's the insinuation you're asking to right now, and you let it happen. You are a coward. Go ahead and put me in jail, but I'm glad that people see what pieces of shit you are. When you guys keep getting shut up in courtrooms, or whatever the fuck happens, and they are quote-unquote terrorists, just remember, it's because the word of the law only matters when it's your shitty penal code to put someone in jail that opposes it. And the spirit of the law only matters when you want to swindle and lie to these people and imply a mayor is the state because the state gave him some form of power. If we all get power from the federal government, you stupid bitch, that doesn't mean we're all feds.
True.
Holy fuck, you're stupid.
Amen.
Put me in jail.
All right, Soze.
Motherfucker.
Hands behind your back. Cuffs going on you.
Yeah,
Couldn't even handle the analogy.
A hero right there.
We're all feds, guys. Congratulations. You're all power of the Fed. Good job, guys. Get out there. We're all
I got plate reads on all 4 vehicles parked here on the
right.
Fucking head off! Let him fucking go!
Come on, let's go. I'm escorting Kael Soze right now.
Can't make him walk out like a man, Slacks, huh?
I'm giving the dignity to walk through the goddamn car.
Slacks, honestly, you better right just fucking. You probably want to.
Careful. Why am I next?
Everybody heard the analogy. Everybody heard the analogy. You guys shitting in Blaine County. I don't know what their excuse is. Apparently now it's a state building, so every law is of the state, which means the citation is treason. That's what that man just declared in the courtroom in front of all those people.
What's going on?
Any person who pleads guilty to any citation is treason.
What's happening now?
Man, you gotta be careful.
We're outnumbered at the stairs.
Okay,
I'll stay in.
Break. Guy in a black mask, sleeveless black mask, just karate chopped with Slacks. Run down the stairs.
Put your hands up.
Huh?
My God.
Stop.
I'm just leaving the courthouse.
Okay, no. Stop. Stop moving.
What the hell?
I need you to stand still, man.
What the hell are you guys doing? Someone else just. There's literally other people.
I don't. They called you out, man. I need you to stop moving.
What? Whoa, hold up.
Am I detained, sir?
Unfortunately.
Whoops.
I think we got the point across. Looks like it worked pretty well.
You think so? I don't think they fucking give a shit. No offense.
Oh no, the
They're
people.
too dumb.
The people, man.
Oh yeah, the people do. Yeah, I agree.
That was the important part.
I think you brought up some really good points in this whole entire court case.
Can I pick up?
And I hope changes do happen.
Name one.